Coming up on Loose Women, Just Between Us.
Did your friends say anything?
Oh,
No, and if they did, how do you think you would have?
but I never used to tell them things because I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed because if I told them what was happening, they would of course say to me, "You've got to leave," but I wasn't ready to.
The first time that I was actually a panellist was around
Were you nervous?
January the 7th. Of course I was. I mean, I'm coming in here with like big boss women. Are you crazy? I was very nervous.
I've never cooked a Christmas dinner in my life.
What?
I'm 67 years old and I've never... Actually, that's a confession.
That's a hot confession,
I am
babe.
67 years old and I have never cooked a Christmas dinner
How come?
in my life. That's all after this. Loose Women Just Between Us is sponsored by Mecca Bingo. And of course, it's about getting together, whether that's in your legendary bingo halls or online. In Mecca's chat rooms, players have their own lingo. I'm going to test you. First one, WD. Well done. Correct. Next, GL. Good legs. No, only joking. GL. Good luck. Yes. And finally, 1TG. One to go. You are on a roll. Discover even more at meccabingo.com. You don't even need a dabber. And it's not just about bingo. There are other games like Slingo, Slot, and even Loose Women Bingo. Players must be 18 or over. Terms and conditions apply. See meccabingo.com for details.
Hi guys, welcome to Loose Women Just Between Us podcast. I'm Judi Love.
And I'm Denise Welch.
And we are here ready to listen to all your juicy dilemmas and your confessions, because obviously if it's me and Denise, then you know there's a lot for us to talk about. We've got a Christmas dilemma about where you should be staying, who you should be speaking to, who you should be going to on Christmas Day, all of that kind of family feud.
And we're also going to be talking about a dilemma which will introduce our Facing It Together campaign and looking at the early signs and how you can spot if somebody is being just overprotective or actually involved in some form of domestic abuse, be that physical or emotional abuse.
And you know we love your dilemmas and confessions, so keep sending them in to loose.women@itv.com.
And today we are celebrating an anniversary. Our Judi Love.
Oh.
It is how many years since you came to have a chat with the Loose Women team?
Oh my gosh, it's around like 6 years.
Well, it's 2019, so you're right.
Yeah,
it is
around this
6
time.
years. I can't remember a time that you weren't here.
Oh,
I can't, honestly.
I'm not crying today.
She said she's not going to cry.
I'm not crying today.
If we talk about it, she starts crying.
That is so sweet. Honestly, when I was sitting down today and we was talking and I realised it was 6 years, I mean, firstly, it's such a blessing. It's just an honour to be a part of the team. You women are fabulous, from in front of the camera to behind the camera.
Yeah, it's a great team.
It's such a great team, man. And I sit here and I'm like, where has the time gone? From that first initial conversation, I remember leaving the office and just being like, oh my gosh, I met Sally and Tom, and I was just like, this is unreal.
Because I asked Sally, who's our series editor, because I'm interested about the process of having been here for so long, with a break and then came back, of how I said to Sally, so what was it about Judi? Where had you seen her? And they said that they saw you on... And at this time, I don't think you had that many followers, but they saw you doing something on your Instagram, which had gone onto YouTube and thought you were hilarious.
It was a video about an Elephant and Castle roundabout. And it's so weird. I know, it was just comedy because I'm a stand-up comedian and I was just doing videos. And I think that's why it's really important to be intentional with what you feel like your purpose and your passion is. Because, I had a small following, but I was doing videos for just people.
The people that followed you.
Yeah, the things that related to us, like the most basic things, simple things. I drove through that roundabout and thought this was crazy. I wonder if anybody else feels like this. And they did. And that's what went viral. And that's what, Sally and Tom picked up. And so when I was called by my manager saying, oh, they want to see you. I was just like, what? And then walking up, I can still remember that day. I was wearing a green jacket, I had my afro out. Walking up to the building was like, this is insane.
Were you a fan of the show?
Yeah, of course I was a fan of the
Who
show.
was your favourite?
Denise,
Yeah,
obviously. Do you know what I mean? You know I call you my auntie, yeah? Because I said you got Caribbean, you know. You've got, honestly, that you've got these little Caribbean...
Judy says to me that I am like a
tendencies.
Caribbean auntie, obviously not physically,
Yeah.
but you think that there is some Caribbean blood in me somewhere.
There's got
Why is that?
Babes, there's these little things you do, like when you're going to tell us something that is just for us, you go, hold on. Listen, yeah. So, and you whisper, like that is a proper auntie. Like you whisper, you draw us in. I mean, you're just a hot mama as well. Like you've just got like the pizzazz.
Have
and
you
the
met my
confidence.
agent, Judy Love?
Not saying that other cultures don't, but I'm going by the aunties and the women that I've been around, and there's just something within you. It's like you've got this little Caribbean-ness,
Well,
I love it.
I'm very flattered. What about anniversaries generally?
Yeah.
Are there any particularly that you either celebrate or not necessarily celebrate, but just acknowledge every single year?
I think like obviously, you know, the sad ones, mum passing and things like that. Of recent, one of the ones which is on a more, you know, something that doesn't take me down a heartfelt emotional, but more of a heartfelt celebration is buying my home. You know, that was definitely like, oh my gosh, you know, because
Well, you were on your uppers.
I was on
not
my uppers
that
because
long
I mean,
ago, Judy.
3 years ago I was in social housing. You know,
3 years
yeah,
ago?
3 years because I about 3.5 years ago I was still in social housing. So I bought my
From that to being possibly one of the most successful black women in entertainment
wow.
today.
I mean, I don't know if I can claim that.
No,
babe.
but,
Like, oh my God,
but
slow down.
seriously, in this country, Judy, you're everywhere. You know,
mean,
you're smashing it. It's 3 years ago. You were
Yeah,
in
I
social
would
housing.
say if I want to be safe, I can say 3.5, 4. But definitely, I've been in this property for 2 years, and then before that, I bought my mum before that. So I think it's like it's about really being, I suppose maybe it's about being relatable, you know, even though I'm a black woman, I find like there's many women, many ages that I can connect to because like yourself, we've had life experience, and I definitely think and believe about being on your passion and your purpose. So that is one of the anniversaries. Being here, I think it was December the 3rd, I came on first, and then my first time that I was actually a panelist was around
Were you nervous?
January the 7th. Of course I was. I mean, I'm coming in here with like big boss women. Are you crazy? I was very nervous. But then there's other anniversaries, like a breakup, like, you know, my
Oh, wow,
last
it's cute.
breakup.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't hold it like sitting there rocking, waiting for the date to come up.
But you're
it
aware
comes
of it
up
when
and you're
it
like,
comes.
wow, like this time last year, I broke up with somebody, you know, and I think that's more of a reflective thing of like, oh, when you first have that breakup, you're really heartbroken, oh my gosh, and then now, you know, a year later, and you see
I'm
how
doing
much
okay.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Things like wedding anniversaries, Link and I are luckily, both are terrible. So this year, July the 13th, I'm going down to Cornwall with the girls. You know how hard it is to get a girls' weekend away? It takes months to organise because you're always doing something. And we were driving down to Cornwall, and something came on the radio, and I went, what date is it? And July the 13th, I went, it's my wedding anniversary. Luckily, he hadn't remembered either. So things like that we're not precious about, you know. Birthdays, I forget everybody's birthday. It's terrible, really. But I think if you're not on Facebook all the time, you're just not aware of people's birthdays.
I can't keep up.
So, but the things I acknowledge is every year, April the 18th, it's the only time I post about sobriety because that is my sobriety anniversary.
Yeah.
And I always put one post out there just saying, you know, I usually find some horrendous picture from my, you know, believe you me, if you Google Denise Welch drunk, oh,
Babe,
God,
don't, when I leave here.
a myriad of photos to choose from. Some I wasn't. They've just made you look like that. But anyway, often with a lot of those women in the photos as well. But anyway, so I'll find a before and an after and just give what I consider quite an encouraging post.
That's what
and
it's
just
about.
Explaining that for me, I can't imagine being back in the place that I was 13 years ago.
You're not that person anymore.
I'm not that person anymore. And that the decisions you make on alcohol and drugs are not listen, I always say there's not excuses for behaviours, but there are often reasons for behaviours.
Yeah.
So I was, it started with self-medicating
Yeah.
an illness and blah,
Did you
blah,
lose
blah.
a lot of friends and stuff once you made that decision? 'Cause-
Only the friends I wanted to lose.
right, yeah. The ones who was happy.
The fair weather friends and the ones who wanted to encourage you that you were just, what do you mean you've got a problem? You're great fun. Yeah, because you're on my coattails.
Yeah.
They used to call me the Pied Piper of Soho because I'd start off with 2 people. By the end of the night,
There's loads
like
of
about 24 people. So I no, and I didn't also surround myself with sobriety necessarily, with sober friends, because Lincoln and I, although it's a wonderful organisation and a lifeline for many, we didn't do AA because we anchor each other. So we consider AA as an anchor, as is NA an anchor for some people. We anchor each other. So we gave up together.
You met the right person at the right time.
That's exactly it.
That's so important,
I met the right person at the right time, and
Really
together
is.
we got sober. And it's responsible for the marriage we have. It's responsible for me still having a career, for Lincoln going from running marketing in Stringfellows to being an internationally successful artist.
I mean, honestly, I
all these
painted something
things.
the other day and I was tempted to phone you. I really was tempted to phone you and send it to you, saying, can you ask your hubby what he thinks about my painting?
Oh my God, he absolutely would.
I really
But isn't
would.
it funny? He said that nobody ever stands on stage and says, "Thank you for this award. I'd like to thank alcohol and drugs for getting me here." Nobody
No.
ever says that in the entire world.
No, they don't.
So that's a big one that I celebrate, and obviously acknowledge hugely the deaths of my parents. who I miss every day.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break, and after that, we've got our dilemmas.
Ooh, I can't wait to get into these. Welcome back to Loose Women Just Between Us. So our first dilemma is from John. I'm 31, but my mum also has another set of older children who are my siblings. I spend the entire year looking after my mum, who is quite old, but when it comes to Christmas, she goes to them as she sees them less. I wouldn't mind, but I've never been invited to my own family's Christmas. I do all the hard work, and when the good times come around, I'm not included. When I've tried to bring it up in the past, I've been made out as the bad guy. For years, I spent Christmas totally alone, and they didn't care, which was really hurtful. However, I do now have a lovely partner and we spend Christmas together. Despite that, I do still love the idea of a big family Christmas. But at this point, I spend more time with the loose women than with my own family. Do I try to rekindle the relationship with my siblings after all this time, or start focusing on making new festive memories with my partner?
Wow. Well, it is a dilemma. It reminds me of a play that I saw years ago, similar, and it was called Skirmishes, and it's 2 sisters. And one of the sisters, she has a disabled mother or a sick mother, and she spends her life as a carer for this woman and gets very little thanks.
That always
But
happens in families. isn't it,
Once a
sometimes?
year, the daughter who has moved to Australia
Wow.
comes and brings a bunch of flowers, and her mother talks about the bunch of flowers and how wonderful the daughter is, that she travels once a year to see her, and the other one gets no thanks. So I think, it's a different situation, but can
there's that
see the
similarities,
similarities.
yeah.
We also only do have John's side.
Yeah.
We don't know why the rift happened. I am a great puller together of families, so I would always rather see if there is a chance the family can come together. I understand the mum. She's a bit torn. What interested me that John said was, I spent Christmas completely on my own and none of them cared.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And he also said when it comes to all the good times, he's not included. It's bigger than just a Christmas thing. Because
Yeah.
I thought, maybe, they want to take the responsibility for mummy on the Christmas period. It's a big time.
Yeah, and why don't they help out more with mum?
I find that
the
happens
year.
a lot in families, that separation between the siblings of the ones that are hands-on and the ones that are not around. But I think it's got to a stage, if you're writing in about it, as you said, no one cares, you're not feeling cared, you're not feeling included, you're feeling like the outcast. Those are very heavy emotions. And he should have the conversation again with them.
Yeah,
He
with
might
them
have
and
tried
his
it.
mum.
And the mum. He might have tried it before, but I think if you get them together, you have a real conversation with them and letting them, not saying that he hasn't, but have another one. I think the fact that you're asking the question, should I try so that you can always look back and say you did.
I think that's exactly it. I think he should reach out and say exactly, he could say to them, I I have been compelled to write in to a TV show because I really don't know what to do. If there is no chance of a reconciliation, then what he should do is invest his time and his energy and his love into his lovely partner and create a family of friends or other people who are on their own at Christmas and make his own memories.
But it sounds like it's more about him and the siblings than it is about him and the mum, because him and the mum are together throughout the year. And maybe for the mum, she's not even picking it up because she's obviously concentrating on her own health issues and so on, and he's just happy to spend time.
And I mean, her argument is probably, but I'm with you all year. This is the one time.
One time. Yeah, so she might just be happy to be able to spend time and she might even see it as a part of a bit of a respite for him. Maybe
And also,
it
sounds like, he doesn't say, but it sounds like there's quite a considerable age gap in him and the siblings. So maybe growing up, they didn't form bonds because there might have been God knows how many years between them. But I think that it's always better to find resolution. And if it's not going to work, then just make your own memories.
Yeah, and at least, creating your own memories, you said you're 31. And you've got a new partner. Your partner can support you through it. But start creating your own memories.
Yeah, come on,
and then
John.
invite your mum and your siblings. You turn the tables round and say, "Oh, come! No, actually, mummy's coming to us this Christmas."
And then when you've done it once, you might think, "We'll just go back to the two of us."
Most definitely. Oh,
right.
God.
So talking of Christmas, and I have to say this, Judi, how are we in November? If somebody said to me, do you remember last Christmas, which was 3 months ago, I would totally believe them.
But I still can. It feels like yesterday I was dancing in my house with my two good friends going into New Year's Eve. What is this? How are we here? Do you know what? Christmas, I'm trying not to think about it because I'm just like, it doesn't even make sense that we're here. It doesn't. My friend's invited me already for Christmas. Absolutely love going to her house. And
you don't have to cook.
I don't have to. I do help though.
Do you?
I bring something, but
I've never cooked a Christmas dinner in my life.
What?
I'm 67 years old, and I've never actually. That's a confession.
That's a whole confession,
I am
babe.
67 years old, and I have never cooked a Christmas dinner.
How come?
In my life? Because I can do a lovely one-pot meal. So I'm quite happy doing a one-pot meal or a bolognese or a lasagna, something like that. All those pots and pans and stress and getting everything ready at the same time, I just can't do it. And my ex-husband, Tim, he does a great big ham with the best crackling you've ever had in your life. My sister is a pescatarian, except for Christmas Day for Tim's ham. She leaves it all behind for that ham.
For that ham.
She literally never eats another piece of meat all year.
Wow.
So we have that with baked potatoes and coleslaw and peas pudding. Peas pudding is a northeast thing, and Tim makes a great one.
What is in peas pudding?
Peas pudding is like lentils, and you make it with like a muslin cloth, and it's delicious. In Newcastle, you would never say, "Can I have a ham sandwich?" without saying ham and peas pudding.
Really?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And and so that's what we do. For the first time, Matty is going to be in Los Angeles because he's marrying a Los Angeles girl. And I have to accept that, we have been invited.
But how does that make you feel? Like, God, my daughter just goes to South and leaves me in Southwest. I'm like, oh my God. But across the waters, how are you feeling that?
I think because we go quite a lot. You know that I've always gone to LA.
Yeah.
You always see that as my
when you go, I'm like, is she going to come back? They're going to snap her up.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's so I feel connected. We're also invited,
right?
But we can't go because I've got Louis, and he's got a girlfriend who's staying in Stranger Things, the show, and so. But then we're going to go afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to go. We're going to go after.
lovely.
So it's going to be a bit different, But I go away for the 2 weeks before Christmas sometimes because I cannot bear the run up till Christmas.
Yeah.
I cannot bear, I want to go in a supermarket and shout, "We are not at war. You do not need 18 bags of sugar. You do not, because your Auntie Florrie is coming. That's it.
That's it.
You don't need 94 bags of potatoes, and you don't need the whole of the bread aisle. You really don't. There will be a shop open on Christmas Day.
I'm not going to lie, though. I'm just, now that we're in November, I am panicking that I haven't soaked any fruits.
Oh my
yet.
God, please go away.
And I'm what I'm going to
turn away from me.
I'm going to contact my auntie, who's like 85, and be like, "Auntie, can I get some of your soaked fruits? And I'm gonna have to. This is gonna be my confession because I don't know if she'll see this. I'm gonna have to lie and tell my auntie I dropped my jar of fruit because she's gonna be like, but
Ladies and gentlemen,
your
Judi
fruits,
Love has not soaked her fruit.
She's gonna be like, but so what
Make of
happened
that
to the
what you
fruits
will.
that you said you did soak? You start soak from last year. I'm not taking.
Well, let's hope they don't watch this
I
episode.
know they love this. Oh, God. I mean, what I mean, Auntie Blossom, that's great. I mean, like, yeah, I did the jar drops. Yeah, love you. I gotta make my cake, man, my black cake.
If you're still reeling from the fact that Judi hasn't soaked her fruit and you're thinking, am I meant to soak my fruit every year?
And what fruit?
Maybe you should go away and learn what soaking fruit is.
For your cake.
For your cake.
Yeah?
Soak your fruit and come back after the break. Well, we've got another juicy fruit dilemma. Okay, and welcome back to Loose Women Just Between Us. We have a dilemma from Ellen, and this falls in the week of our Facing It Together campaign. And for those of you who aren't aware of it, we have had this hugely successful campaign here on Loose Women, and it is pointing out the things that you should look out for if you are concerned for yourself or even a friend or a relative who may be involved in some form of domestic abuse, be that physical or emotional abuse. So Ellen says, my friend has been seeing someone now for a few months, and I can't entirely put my finger on it, but there's something about him and the relationship that in general is really niggling me. He seems very attentive when we've all been together, but it feels almost performative at times and sometimes a bit possessive. She's been single for quite a long time before this, and I know she really wanted to meet someone, as many of us are married or engaged, but I'm a bit worried that this has made her overlook red flags. A couple of other friends have made comments and that suggest that they've also been thinking this. On the other hand, maybe he really is just a very attentive boyfriend and I don't want to offend her or cause a falling out by suggesting otherwise. What do you think I should do?
Oh, at first, as you start to read it, I thought, oh, you've been a bit... But if there's one thing I've learned, and not necessarily I haven't been in any situation where it's been coercive control, but your friends can sometimes really tell when something's a little bit off with someone. They know you. They kind of know when you change a little bit when someone's around, when it's a change of just like excitement and joy and oh my God, you're so in that moment to like, you're a little bit off. So I think if more than one friend is noticing something, that in itself might be a little bit like, oh, maybe something is...
Well, I think it's a red flag, the fact that they're thinking it's a red flag.
Wow, that's such a good way of putting it.
A little bit of it. I was in a coercively controlled relationship without physical violence many, many, many years ago. And what they do is they're very manipulative. They chip away at your personality in very, very subtle ways.
I didn't even realise that was...
And for example, you know, so say they've met you, and when they've met you, you've maybe been out somewhere and you've got your makeup on and you've got your whatever you normally wear, which is why they fancied you, which is why they've approached you, and which is your personality. But then very slowly it's, you know, you don't need to wear that much makeup. You look much nicer without makeup. And that's because they don't want other people to see what they saw.
Wow.
So you start doing everything you can to avoid the kickoff, because you will then put makeup on and you'll go out and he is saying in your ear, I can see everybody looking at you. You look really tarty.
Oh.
And you would go, I know, but everybody has just said that I look nice. Yeah, because they're laughing at you.
Wow.
So you should just stop wearing so much makeup. So you are so scared of the kickoff of what's going to happen, you will gradually start not wearing any makeup. And with that, they're taking away all of your personality.
It'd be interesting to know exactly what are the things that they're seeing. But sometimes, you know, it is an intuition thing, isn't it? There's just someone makes you feel uneasy. It's a hard one because if the friend is really, they said that she's been single for a little while and she really wants to be with someone because everybody else... She's settling. How to approach this is difficult because if they approach it too harshly, she could be like, whoa.
People shoot the messenger, Judi.
Do you know?
Don't they?
Me personally, I think what I would do, I would keep up communication connection. So I would start inviting them out a lot more. I'd want to be around. I'd invite him to the house, invite him around. I want to see what he's like in different environments. And then I would probably have my friend on a one-to-one, on a girlies. Do you know what I mean? And I think start off maybe with something I'm a bit oh, I'm not sure, girls, I was feeling a bit off the other day. Someone said something to me. Or bring up, oh, I saw an ex, maybe ex that didn't treat me good, and bring it up and say, it really triggered me the other day.
I think Ellen knows, though. Do you know what I mean?
And then see if that person then starts... Cause
You're saying give him the benefit of the doubt for now. Let's
not
try and...
Not the benefit of doubt. I'd say keep watching, keep the communication open, but you'd have to get your friend in a safe... Let her know that it's a safety. Because if something's going on, you know, some of the things that they lead you with is shame. People don't come forward because they feel shame and feel embarrassed.
No, I know,
and
embarrassed.
You want her to know
That's what I was like.
Okay, but did your friends say anything?
Oh.
No, and if
My
they did, how do you think you would have?
But I never used to tell them things because I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed because if I told them what was happening, they would of course say to me, "You've got to leave," but I wasn't ready to because I kept thinking that I could change him. And then when we got to the point where I would break the relationship off, I got the flowers and I got the chocolates and I got the tears in the car. Please don't leave me because I'm so sorry. I'm going to change. I'm going to change. I'm going to change. Then you give them that extra time and then it all goes back to...
There's something you just said that is so key. You wasn't ready. And I think even if it was really, there was enough evidence, it was really obvious, we have to be prepared as the ones on the outside that the person in it might not be ready. And that's where the support and the compassion and the empathy and being non-judgmental
Well, look how
really
successful
comes in
Facing
handy.
It Together has been, the amount of
Exactly.
response we've had from people who didn't even realise that they were in a coercively controlled relationship.
Or
because
wasn't ready.
For years, people thought domestic abuse was physical only.
Yeah.
And the difference is you can't see the bruises.
But there's still bruises.
They are bruises, and the bruises often can last for longer. So if she's got this supportive network of friends, they can say they're concerned. They can say, look, you know, for example, our campaign, just have a look at the triggers on there, Ellen, and just see if you recognise any.
And one of the charities that we've worked quite closely with, Women's Aid, has given us like just a few little pointers that people can look out for if they're concerned about loved ones or even themselves.
These.
Really?
Yeah.
Which ones?
Well, spending less time, you can't go through all of them, but spending less time with loved ones. I used to get, why are you so obsessed with your parents? You know, I probably phoned them twice a week from a call box. You know, you're obsessed with them. People are commenting and saying how obsessed you are.
Yes,
that's it. Being bombarded with messages or calls, what the Gen Z thing called love bombing.
Yes.
Okay. Struggling to concentrate or being anxious. So you see that person is never present because they're always somewhere else. They make excuses, or blame themselves for their partner's behaviour. So I remember once my mum said, can you ask him just to pick up this mess he's left on the floor? He'd left banana skins and everything. And I remember saying to her, that's mine. Because I was terrified that my mum would say something to him and then he would kick off with my mum. Walking on eggshells, always did that. Showing physical injuries, that never happened to me. Being regularly criticised or belittled by their partner. And it's often done in a passive-aggressive way.
That one.
So in front of friends, it will be, oh, God, listen to her with her unfunny jokes that she's always telling.
That one.
But afterwards, I'd say, but my friends laughed at the joke. He'd go, they're laughing at you, darling. They're not laughing with you.
And that's when it's chipping away at you.
Yeah.
If you have experienced anything like this or are concerned about any of your loved ones or even yourself, then you can visit www.itv.com/loosewomen.
Or call the National Domestic Abuse Helpline on 0808 200 247.
Well, we usually would have a confession, but let's be honest, I think we just confessed two things. You confess that you have never cooked Christmas dinner, and I've confessed that
you haven't
I haven't soaked my fruits. So yeah, that's our confessions.
So, with that being said, join us next time with some of your other favourite loose women. I know that we're your favourite, but there are some others available on Loose Women Just Between Us.